me say this to you. So I always wonder what, and it's still different because you're a man, but you are an entertainer, you are a singer, you're a songwriter, you're a masterful performer. I always wonder, what do you feel with I'm not in the Beyonce category. I really don't think anyone is, but I'm saying as someone who does music and sings, what do you feel? Because Beyonce, and I'm always the first one to say, I'm not even in the Beehive. I never even think that I'm in the Beehive. I don't think I'm like
Yeah.
a feverish fan. I'm just highly respectful and proud of her.
S-
But it's
ex-
like,
Honestly, I think we probably share the same thing. That's exactly it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very proud of this woman. But it's like, as a singer, as a performer, as a songwriter, when you walk out of that, is your brain, like you said, you felt like vindicated because it can be done. Did it put gasoline on a fire that's already in you, or a certain idea that you've already been thinking about? Like, what does that do for you being in somewhat in the same field?
So I think that gets right to the theme of today's episode: greatness. Which I am I? Which I am I? And I loved when you brought this to us. Are you insecure? Are you intimidated? Are you inspired?
Which
If you
I
ask me the
am I?
question, which
Yeah.
I am I think that's brilliant. That's brilliant. You should really do this writing thing. Like
I should do
you
this
should
for a
be
living. Yeah.
yeah, you should do this for a living. Um, but I will say, for me, inspired all day, absolutely. Yes, let's go.
Hmm.
Um, and that's honestly what greatness does for me all the time. It always inspires me. It helps me to take an introspection of, am I doing the work to see and realize all that I'm hoping for and wanting? It also helps me to do inventory checking, on, do I have the resources, or how can I get the resources? What do I need to help me get this vision out? But I'm inspired. I definitely, a fire was lit under me, Eunice. I wish and sometimes I was like, I was sitting there like, see, I told you, y'all think I'm doing too much. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to told you this is what it is. And
Hmm.
it was really dope because my manager saw this show in LA, and he's like, I was just blown away. I said, so now that you're blown away by Beyonce doing it, do you get why I care so much?
Right.
Because
Right.
I get often like, Major, you don't have to care that much. Like it's gonna be okay. And I'm like, okay is cool, but amazing is what I'm aiming for.
Right. Right.
Brilliant and genius is what I'm aiming for. Jay-Z, who made his appearance, and it's even small moment, he knows how to show up and fully stand in the
Hmm.
greatness of the moment, no matter how small it is. It's gonna be big when he steps in it. And that's what I was in. Man,
Hmm.
golly, golly. It was,
Well, let me
man.
tell you, like I said, I didn't go to Cowboy Carter. I've been to two previous Beyonce, Renaissance, and I think maybe On the Run 2 or something. I never remember the names of the shows, but both times. The first time I went, I said, I'll never go to another Beyonce show. The second time I went, I said, I'm not coming back to see Beyonce. And let me tell you why. At the end of like 3 hours of this woman doing everything and caring so much about my experience, I get this like post concert depression of like,
Mm.
see, and now she gonna leave, and now she going somewhere else. Look, it's like this. You know what I'm saying? It really is a weird feeling of like, I said, I can't come back up in here no more because I don't like the way it feels when she stops, right? And I said, I
Wow.
ain't coming back in here to see this for her to leave, right? And so then
Mm.
by the time I went to the second one, I was like, and here I am again.
Ah!
When you still standing there, if she says, I love y'all, get home safe, good night, and she leaves and the lights come up and you stand there like, excuse me? And this is 3 hours later.
Yeah.
What? What is she done? Is that it?
And she literally gave you 3 hours of an
She ain't
incredible
got no
show, or
opening
two
act.
hours of it.
She like is going, right? And it's like I call it a post Beyonce depression, like postpartum depression. There's a post Beyonce depression that comes over you. So I would say my initial who am I? The initial thing is I get sad, she gone. Why she gone? But let me tell you, you mentioned Jay-Z. Now, I appreciate and respect Jay-Z. I have an asterisk on it. I think most people who love Beyonce, like, this is the man that cheated on Beyonce. But she forgave him. We still working through it. Um, but Jay-Z had a documentary out years out. I think it's called Made in America, and it was like documenting his festival he would do. And he said that he believes everyone has genius level talent. It's just a matter of whether you'll ever tap into yours. And
That's
sometimes when
it.
you see someone in their genius, that's what inspires your genius. And so
Right.
that always stuck with me because so many people are out
Can
here
you
thinking
say
they're
it
not
one more
special.
time for our listeners what he said? Everyone has a what? Say it again.
Everyone has genius level talent. It's just a matter
Yes.
of whether you will ever tap into yours. And when you
Yes.
see someone else in their genius, hopefully it will spark yours, right? Now, if you're looking at Beyonce, your spark should not be, ooh, I'm going to go sing and dance like Beyonce. But there is a question of what could I do as me that will be this level, and because she's doing what she's doing as her. And if
Right.
all of us have genius level talent, a lot of us will never even scratch the surface of it. One, we've been told we're doing too much. We've been told it's not available to us. We've been convinced we're not worthy, we're not deserving, we're not talented enough. There's all these things that will discourage people from their greatness, right? One of the things
Yeah.
that I hate the most is how much talent is never pursued or exposed because someone's gonna make fun of how somebody looks. And they're gonna do that.
Well,
They're
let
gonna
me
talk about how somebody looks.
let me nip that real quick because
That
I
drives me
will
crazy.
say this. I will say this. I firstly thank you for bringing up that quote by Jay-Z because I do believe it is very true that everyone has a genius inside of them. It's if you're going to tap into it, if you're going to put it to work. I
Right.
think that environments have caused people to believe that they don't have a genius for whatever reason, or that they're not worthy enough of rising up in their genius. I think
Mm-hmm.
genius is often calling us to move with it, to dance with it, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes because of our conditions, we have felt unworthy of taking this dance. Can I have this
Mm-hmm.
dance? You absolutely can. If there's a new day, absolutely the opportunity and the availability and the permission to step into the space of genius is given you. It is
Right.
afforded you.
Right.
But I will say this, I remember in Houston, Texas, when people said she sings too weird for it to
Mm.
work. I remember when instructors voiced, stop singing like Beyonce. Y'all,
Mm.
Beyonce's not singing technically correct. And Major, because I know greatness. I really do. From early on, nobody could tell me I wasn't going to be great or that I wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
I literally said, what if that's the thing that will make her successful and make her the star that she truly is?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the difference that makes her so special. And I remember a teacher saying, that may be, but that's not correct.
Mm.
And I just stuck with what I knew.
Mm-hmm.
Watch. She's going to show and prove. This was before she went solo. This was around 98, 99 when Destiny Child first broke on the scene with No, No, No. And now we have a Beyonce where people mimic the way she sings, trying
Mm-hmm.
to be another version of.
And
But the
but this is
thing,
what's funny. If they say
yeah,
somebody when somebody says it's not correct, you think about how many of our standards and our benchmarks and our guidelines were created by non-geniuses.
but that's the very thing. The reality is, the
Right.
reality is what becomes great often starts as different.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Or wrong or
often the
incorrect.
or
Yeah.
incorrect
Weird.
or
Yeah.
abnormal or
Mm-hmm.
odd or strange.
Mm-hmm.
That's what is great. When Gaga came on the scene,
Mm-hmm.
people were like, "That's just weird." And
Right.
then Gaga became the superstar. When
Mm-hmm.
Bruno came on the scene, it was like, "What's going on? He's doing all this old fashioned type of stuff. Like he's this throwback." That became the superstar. Michael
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, that the superstar, Elvis Presley, that the superstar. And I'm not saying it in that they weren't inspired, because every single artist that I named literally were the making of inspiration, but they moved in the superpower of their uniqueness. And that is what makes them the quintessential examples of greatness. Oprah
Mhm.
Winfrey, Michael Jordan Oprah took talk shows to a whole nother level. Michael Jordan took basketball to a whole nother level. Showing up as their authentic selves was their superpower.